Hey folks, welcome to Unqualified, the fantasy football podcast that's been paying way too much attention to this mascot bracket since 2017. I'm your producer, Rob Diesendorf, here with Sean Brady and Scott Johnson, two fantasy football rivals that have been sabotaging each other for years, but they decided to come together to help you win your league and make your friends look like mascots. How's it going, fellas?
This thing is taking over my life. I could not be happier about it. The amount of comments I've gotten about the seeding in the last couple days is it's frightening because
I can't stop thinking about it.
Because I feel like as the guy that was mostly in charge of the seeding, I took input. We kind of workshopped a couple, but I generally set the seeds. I feel like I take a lot of these comments personally because I set up some people, some mascots, to be doomed. And I'm not going to get into specifics, but
Gerber baby,
like even the rabbit challenge from week 1, like I was told by a few people that was way too early for that matchup. You know, it sucks, but you know, there's always going to be losers in a thing like this. There's only going to be one true winner, and his name is BK.
Cheetos,
Hell yeah,
Cheetah,
brother.
and BK in the finals. Don't at me.
I'm seeing heavy BK energy in my future.
We got to bring those commercials back. I feel like I haven't seen nearly enough of those. Like
That's the thing is, like, we've already seen what the BK man can do. We've seen it in the commercials.
It's scary.
He's wreaked havoc. He's a wild card, you know? Ronald McDonald doesn't have that. He doesn't have that freedom that the BK man has.
Ronald McDonald is a bitch. Baby back
Have you
bitch.
ever seen Ronald McDonald let loose? No, because he's cursed and he's a sociopath.
I feel like if he did let loose, though, it would be really scary. Like
Exactly.
clown energy, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't want to see that.
Like, you don't want him to let loose because there's too much to let out.
There's
He
decades of
contains
turmoil.
multitudes of darkness.
A lot of it.
Before we move on, throw us. I know this is one thing we haven't really mentioned with this food mascot challenge. Throw out some of the people you think got snubbed from the tournament. I know there was one that I actually realized myself afterwards that I was particularly pissed about. Count Chocula should have been in there, and that's my bad. That's our bad, because that guy would have been a high seed.
Taco Bell Chihuahua.
Yes. Pollos Hermanos from Breaking Bad would have been another possibility, but
Oh my gosh.
I really think
Cheese.
oh jeez, it's damn.
Cheese,
wheel.
hunk of cheese, yeah.
You know what? There's always next year, and they'll be fresh after taking a year off. It's like they missed the World Cup.
Oh my
essentially.
God, the
They didn't
Gordon's
qualify.
Fisherman.
The what?
Oh, from
Gordon's
the fish sticks,
Fisherman.
the fish sticks, yellow box.
Gordon's
Gordon's.
Fisherman? I've never...
I already can't wait for the next time we do this.
We should have done
got you.
goldfish, too.
Oh, see, we almost have an entire out bracket here. Just keep in mind, they didn't do enough to qualify. So it's like the World Cup. They might be world powers, but they didn't make it this year because of their regional qualifiers, and they'll be back. They have the chance to qualify next year based on their performance in the off season, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see how
March
this thing shakes
Madness.
out.
It's March
Exactly.
Madness. This Gordon guy
We
would
should
have
have
fucking
Lee.
won everything. Damn, this guy's a beast. We should have put Gordon in.
We should have some friendly matchups throughout the year.
Wow.
I'm all for it. I love that. And
Damn.
you cuties out there, if you're thinking of somebody that you feel was unfairly left out, let us know, because this is not the last you've heard of this food mascot Mortal Kombat fight to the death bracket, and you know, maybe we'll bring the winner into the mix somehow in our sponsorship deal with Tiger Bomb. You know, the Tiger Bomb bracket brought to you by Burger King, something of that along those lines.
I like that.
I can't wait, and I know Tiger Bomb can't wait to have a lot of mascots to sell their products to. So
TB.
shout out to you guys.
Week 7 preview. You know what time it is. What time is it?
It's Crunchwrap Supreme time.
Crunchwrap Supreme time. GOTW, games of the week. First one, we got Texans at Colts. Pretty good AFC South rivalry here. Line is Indy -1, which is kind of interesting. And I feel like they're going to get crushed by the Texans, who are one of the best teams in the AFC. Texans, Deshaun Watson on another level. He's playing at an MVP level right now, and he just showed. I mean, obviously, like the rest of the team around him is pretty good, and his pass catchers are, and the Chiefs' defense is kind of that bad. But he dueled with Pat Mahomes on like another level last week. It's good to see.
Yeah, and he's rushing for some value this year. I mean, fantasy wise, it's hard to do much better than Deshaun Watson right now. My only pause here is the Colts just kind of stopped Mahomes. Obviously, Mahomes is banged up. I'm wondering if they have a similar game plan or some tricks up their sleeve here, but I don't think they can contend with this guy. I agree. The only reason Indy's favored here is because they're at home. I do think T.Y. Hilton will have a really nice game, but there might be a little bit of empty calories because I think the Texans jump out early, just dominate because they have more blue chip guys on their roster. Love the Texans here. Getting a point against the Colts in a dome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Texans' rush defense is 18th, so it's kind of middling to somewhat friendly. Marlon Mack, I think, is going to run all over them, though. So, I don't know. It gives me a little pause, but I think the Texans are gonna win this and take the line. Next one, we got Ravens at Seahawks, which is really interesting NFL game. It's hard to decipher, like, fantasy-wise, like, who can, like, kind of squeak in there. Like, DK Metcalf, he's had a couple good weeks here and there, but not great. Hollywood Brown, a couple good weeks here and there, not great. Like, you kind of know who you're starting on these teams, and you know who you're not. Chris Carson and Russell Wilson on the Seahawks, absolutely 100% starting. Tyler Lockett as well, not Disley anymore, unfortunately. Ravens, Mark Ingram, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything?
Yeah, I would say, Hollywood Brown's been hurt the last couple of weeks. I do think this is the type of game where he could have a nice game, but you can't plug him in until you see him fully back and fully healthy, so I get that. I'm stoked about this quarterback duel here. Lamar Jackson, the top running quarterback in the league. He might be the top running back in the league also, by a wide margin. But Russell Wilson, I mean, we just talked about Deshaun Watson playing on an MVP caliber level. Russell Wilson is setting the stage for that level. He has raised the bar. He's just been incredible. And this quarterback duel is incredible. It's a top 3 quarterback duel of the year so far and probably moving forward. I can't wait. This is at Seattle, so I'll take Russ, but would not be surprised either way here.
Yeah, I'll take Russ too. It's -4 for the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, 0 interceptions this year, 14 touchdowns,
Boss.
1,700 yards.
Boss.
That's ridiculous. And I was listening to this podcast quickly before we move on about how he's just perpetually overlooked as like an MVP type caliber guy because the team around him when it was 5-6 years ago, it was Legion of Boom, it was Marshawn Lynch. He was kind of overlooked in those teams. He was the glue that held those teams together.
Yep.
Far and away. Like, yeah, the Legion of Boom was good, but then they went away, and the Seahawks were still good, and it was because of Russell Wilson. Marshawn Lynch retired, came back. Like, they had Eddie Lacy. They had no running game. Russell Wilson was the guy that kept them together. So, I agree. I want to talk about. I keep on forgetting to bring this up. 538. It's a pretty good website for like tracking games. Baltimore is a 35% chance to win. Seattle's a 65% chance to win. Kind of interesting. And then the one we just talked about, Texans at Colts. Colts has 51% chance to win. Houston's 49.
Wow.
Interesting there. Next matchup, Eagles at Cowboys. NFC East matchup here. A nasty rivalry. Probably one of the most, like, the nastiest rivalries, honestly. Dallas is favored -2.5, which doesn't make sense to me. But these two teams are kind of reeling. Cowboys are on a 3-game losing streak here.
Yeah, and the Eagles are, I believe, 500 as well.
Yeah.
So I think, to me, Vegas is saying both these teams are not what we thought they were a couple weeks ago, and Dallas is just getting the custom 2.5 home field advantage basically there.
Yeah, standard.
I'll still take the Eagles here, though, because I think Amari Cooper out for the Cowboys is huge news. And, I mean, obviously, were he to have been healthy here, the Eagles secondary is exactly where you attack them. Give me the Eagles, because I just think they're a better team overall. I know the Cowboys are good, but their injuries, I think, are actually more significant than the Eagles' injuries, which is saying quite a bit. Give me the Eagles here.
Yeah, 45% chance to win, 538. Dallas is 55% chance. I don't trust the Cowboys at all. And we mentioned like their schedule in the beginning of the season. They played the Redskins, the Dolphins, and
the Jets.
The Jets they lost, but like the first 3 weeks they beat the Rams. I don't know. I don't remember now. Hold on.
They played somebody else terrible. I mean, their game against the Jets tells you all you need to know. They're not
Giants.
Yeah. I literally just had a Freudian slip and said the Jets, but I was thinking the Giants.
Might as well, yeah.
But again, you should be 4-0 if you play those 4 teams, and they aren't. Easily. They lost to the Jets this week. They've lost to every decent team they've played so far. And the Eagles are a good team. Like, the Eagles are really banged up, just like the Cowboys, but I think Carson Wentz over Dak Prescott. Give me Doug Peterson over Jason Garrett by a fucking mile. And it's just...
He's on the hot seat.
Like, it just makes there's no area outside of, like, cornerback that the Cowboys are better than the Eagles.
Yeah. Well, linebackers and cornerback, I would say.
Yeah.
Michael Gallup is a top 15 play this week. Mark Cooper's out at all.
Love it.
The Eagles can't stop a nosebleed, and Stephon Diggs just had 267 yards. So Michael Gallup, and even Tavon Austin might be a pickup if you want, like, a loner for a week or two. Eagles can't stop anything. Next section we got Doritos Locos Tacos. Again, properly hyped, but missing some clout, which is a great fucking word. Great phrase. Rams at Falcons. 2 reeling teams here. Two Super Bowl losers to the Patriots.
Ooh.
Past 3 years.
Wow.
And they just haven't recovered the same, have they?
Not at all.
Yeah, Rams are favored by 4 in this one, which I'll take that because the Falcons are that bad, but I don't know. What do we think of this game?
I'm buying the dip on the Rams. I think the Falcons suck. Like, they really suck.
Yeah. Like top 5 picks suck.
Yeah, like that bad.
Draft.
If they didn't have Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, it would be even worse here. Not that they're already not
bad for those
a messy team, but like they just got nothing going. I mean, Devontae Freeman finally had a decent game. I'm going to try to sell him as much as I can this week, but probably not going to find any takers. They're just not. It's not happening for this team. The Rams, on the other hand, I do think they have the bones there for a good team. I mean, they just traded for Jalen Ramsey. It tells you they think they still can win it all this year. Clearly, Goff has a lot of figuring out stuff to do. Sean McVay has to do a better job setting him up to succeed. But when you look at that wide receiver core, they're going to figure it out. And I'm buying the dip here. Have fun doubting Sean McVay. He's going to figure this thing out. He's a great coach. He's a smart dude. And I think Darrell Henderson gets the nod soon enough, and then it's go time.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this Rams team. I was saying in the beginning of the offseason, 6 out of 7, like they had 6 games that they won 5 of them by 7 points or less, and like that was just historic. It's usually like 500, and they're 3-3 this year. Like that's kind of what's happening.
The only thing is their division is giving me pause because their
division is the best one.
Yeah.
I think actually.
Yeah, I would say so.
Maybe the NFC North with the Lions, Packers, Bears, and Vikings, but it's like kind of close. Like the Cardinals are on a 2-game winning streak. They look really good with Kyler Murray. So that's anyone's game. The 5-1 Seahawks, the 5-0 49ers, really good defenses. Yeah, I don't know. One thing I will say about Devontae Freeman, he's had 3 weeks in a row where he's been a top 14 fantasy running back. That's actually pretty good, and he's been catching it out of the backfield. And if there's one saving grace about having Devontae Freeman or a pass catcher on the Falcons, it's they're going to throw it. Matt Ryan was 30 of 36 with 4 touchdowns, I think, last week. And their kicker really did their kicker miss an extra point?
Yeah,
at the end of the game,
I think
he did, right?
Yep.
And we lost by 1 point. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. And I was thinking of the Texans guy, Kami Fairbairn, who's missed 4 extra points this year. By the way, 4,
brutal.
16 of 20 in extra points, which is ridiculous after being number 1 last year. But anyway, I'm going to take the Rams as well. I think they'll figure it out. Next one, we got Vikings at Lions, NFC North, like we were just saying. Really good division. This is a pick 'em, so it's pick one or the other. Kirk Cousins finally figuring it out. Week after Thielen ridiculed him, he threw it to Thielen for 2 touchdowns. A week or two after Diggs threatened to leave the team, he throws him 3 touchdowns. Can we get like Kyle Rudolph to like give shit to Kirk Cousins, so we stop this tight end wasteland, or Dalvin Cook or something, or Kirk could just like be better from the beginning. I don't know.
That's all about. It's all about the matchup. They got the Eagles, who, like we said, are just an instant. They're like revving the engine on a jump start for an offense, and that's what happened here. I think they come back down to earth this week. The Lions are a legitimately good defense. I don't think Kirk does it against good teams. I think we know this at this point. Look, I love Dalvin Cook as much as the next guy. I love Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, but they're going to be slightly above average at the end of the year as an offense. If they're going to be elite at anything, it's going to be running. And Dalvin Cook has had a couple up and down weeks lately. I mean, the first couple weeks of the year, he was lights out. He's overall been a stud. You're not sitting him or anything. I'm a little worried in this matchup, though, because I think the Lions are like the perfect wrench in the works. Like they're like the Titans. Like you play them, and you'll have a week where you just go, "What the fuck just happened?" Like that team's not even good, and they just beat us. I don't know. I don't know what it is about the Lions, but I'm actually scared for the Vikings. As far as this being a pick'em, I'd still take the Vikings, but I feel awful about it.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook is Todd Gurley of 2 years ago and Christian McCaffrey of last year. Like he breaks, a second, third round pick, had an off year the year before, and breaks out. Like he's going to be a top 5 guy the rest of the year.
Quick shout out we haven't done to ourselves lately. We nailed this shit. We nailed it. Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb, the 2 guys you want at the end of round 2. We also, we threw Lamar Jackson out there just saying, so now this is the 3rd year in a row that we've given you a top 3 quarterback in round 10 or later, and the breakout running back of the year. This year we have 2 of the top 2 breakout running backs outside of maybe Eckler. Just please listen to us in the preseason. We don't even give ourselves enough credit, so I doubt all of you are giving us enough credit. We didn't even get all these guys on all our teams, but when we did, and I know you own Cook in one league where I own Chubb, and then the vice versa in another league. I know I own Jackson, you own Jackson on one team, I think.
Yep. I love it.
Just make this shit happen. There's trends that happen every year. There's always going to be a running back in the end of round 2 that's going to be a top 3 option. There's always going to be a top 3 quarterback in round 10 or later, and we'll point them out to you. Just trust us.
Yep. I love that. One thing I will say about the Lions defense before I say who I think is going to win this Vikings-Lions game, the Lions defense against wide receivers is 16th, very middling. So it's Stephon Diggs, not going to have the same week as last week. Adam Thielen could have a really good week because he goes to the slot. He'll avoid Darius Slay, who does not cover the slot, who's a shutdown cornerback, probably top 5 or 6 cornerback in the NFL in terms of shutting down opposing number 1 wide receivers. Probably will be Diggs this week. The Lions are 30th against running backs for the season so far.
Oh,
30th.
Yeah. Fire them up.
Bottom 3. So if you needed a reason to pick Dalvin Cook this week in a daily fantasy league, there you go. I'm picking the Vikings too. I think the Lions are 2-2-1, scary team, but I don't know. Vikings are surging right now. Next one, we got Saints at Bears. The line is Bears -3 on the dot. Saints, Bridgewater is serviceable, but he's only had 1 good fantasy week, so he's not a pickup. Like I get why everyone's picking him up because he was a starter in Minnesota. We've said this all along the season. Like he's no Drew Brees.
Not at all.
Sorry, and they've scored the 9th least points since Bridgewater took over in the league. So it's really like their defense is stepping up in a huge way. Marshawn Lattimore is back to his shutdown cornerback ways after a slow start to the season. The first 2 weeks he was off. They have good pass rushers. Their defense is the reason they're winning right now.
Yeah, I need Alvin Kamara to do more, and I think a big reason he's not doing more is because Drew Brees isn't running this offense. Like, obviously, Bridgewater is 4-0. He's done his job in the NFL since. But I need Alvin Kamara to be first off, he's still a stud. Like, that game a couple weeks ago, I think he had 12 or 15 broken tackles in one game. It was something ridiculous like that. And I get it. He's been good, but I need him to be great. And he can't be great unless Drew Brees is running this offense, so please, I need this guy back ASAP. That being said, though, I think the Saints defense does a number on the Bears this week. Because I know the Bears defense is legit. I mean, this is a game where you take the under, but like that Saints defense, dude, Marcus Davenport is a fucking baller. Like that draft pick finally makes sense. It makes sense finally. And
traded up a lot for him
and
2 years last year.
Yeah, it was last year. You pair him with Cam Jordan. I mean, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. And you know Marshawn Lattimore might be the best cornerback in the league right now. Like, I don't want to see them, especially when you got a backup quarterback or maybe Mitch is back for the Bears.
And Demario Davis in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
the former Jet linebacker. It's a beast.
Yeah.
I think they have Kiko Alonso, too. I don't know if he's starting, but just add that freak to the mix, too. The 538, I forgot to mention it for the Rams, the past 2 games. I'll do the Saints at Bears first. Chicago's 58% chance to win this game, according to 538, which is kind of crazy to me. I actually... This line is -3. I'm gonna take the Bears in this one. I think Allen Robinson, he might be too much for this team, the Saints team.
See, I'm gonna go completely the other way. I think, I'm looking at what Dalvin Cook did to the Bears a couple weeks ago, and I think Kamara has a nice game this week. I really do.
All right.
I think this is it, and
I like that.
I don't know. I really just don't trust that Bears offense whatsoever. I could see the Saints defense outscoring the Bears offense this week.
I like that. All right. What I will say is the Saints, in terms of rush defense, are 6th. So I was going to say David Montgomery might have he just has so much volume. He's just not doing anything with it, but this isn't the week to start him either. Rams at Falcons. Sorry, I forgot to say this before the 538 because I think this is cool. 54% chance for the Rams, according to 538. And then Vikings-Lions, we got 57% chance for the Vikings. So pretty interesting there. We got a couple more matchups before we're done for this week. Spicy potato taco matchups. Light but sneaky good. You know what it is. Raiders at Packers. Packers are favored by 7. What do we think of this game? Raiders off of a bye last week.
This is a classic trap game here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the Packers are a really good team. They're solid all the way around, but they're banged up at the wide receiver spot.
Big time.
Aaron Jones had a nightmare of a game on Monday night. I kind of like the Raiders here. I mean, they're that team that you go, what's happening when it's like the almost halftime and the Raiders are up by like 14 points, and it makes no sense. And I get it. They're just not as good. I don't know if there's a single position that they're better than the Packers, but I could see them keeping this game close. I'll take Green Bay to win.
End.
Yeah, that's about it. Green Bay to win, Raiders to cover. Give me the money now.
I'll do that same thing. I think the Raiders will cover. Josh Jacobs, I think, is going to thrash this rush defense.
Ooh,
and just a note about Aaron Jones that you just said, it literally was because I had Aaron Rodgers in one league and the Green Bay defense, and I was playing against Aaron Jones. And there was one play. I mean, obviously he had the fumble and he had a drop touchdown pass, which would have been helpful for me, but even more for him, my opponent. There was one. It's the funniest thing. Jamal Williams comes out. They're on like the 10-yard line. Aaron Jones is not in because it was after the fumble. Aaron Rodgers takes up. He's in shotgun, takes it. He kind of like throws it up in the air to. He doesn't throw it. He like shuttle passes it to Jamal Williams, who takes it in for the touchdown. It's a touchdown pass. It was literally a touchdown pass for me, and Aaron Jones was on the sideline. I was like, this is what you wish for if you're in this situation right now. It was great. Yeah, I agree. Same exact thing. 72% chance for Green Bay to win, but I think they're going to win. It's just in terms of covering, I don't think they're going to cover that. Chargers at Titans. What happened to both of these teams?
Oh man, I guess I'll go to the Titans side because it makes a little bit more sense. Ryan Tannehill time.
Does it?
I mean, to me, it's just Marcus Mariota is the problem, and not that he as a first off, I think he's going to go to another team this offseason, and I think he might work out somewhere else because I don't think that offensive coaching structure does him any favors whatsoever from their exotic smash mouth system of the years past, and now clearly Mike Vrabel doesn't give a shit about the offense. He's all about that defense and special teams. So I get it. I think Ryan Tannehill will be marginally better. I don't expect a miracle, but I mean, look, this is not the offense to invest in. Derrick Henry, I guess, but it's not the best option.
Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, first and second overall in, I guess it was 2015 draft. They're in their 5th-year option. They weren't picked up by their teams, I believe, in the offseason. Both of them have had putrid games in the past couple of weeks. The weird part about Marcus Mariota that I want to talk about a little bit about, he was turnover free for the first 5 weeks or 4 weeks of the season. He didn't have one interception.
And his whole career, too.
His whole career, he's barely had it. But the weird thing is that he never gives to it. A wide receiver that's catching balls from him never produces. He's had Delaney Walker here and there, but I think we talked about this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's like, I can't name one wide receiver that's been effective under Marcus Mariota. Rashard Matthews had some flashes here and there.
Yep.
Corey Davis has 1 or 2 games a year. Literally, that's it. Otherwise, he's looking like a bust. If you put him on the Patriots, would he be a bust? That's a whole other conversation. Maybe, maybe not. There's been, first-round wide receivers that have been busts all throughout past 10 years, 15 years. He's also a mobile quarterback, and they don't let him run the ball. His new options is because he got hurt so many times. So I think he's still going to start. I think Tannehill, like Vrabel putting Tannehill in was to like light a fire under his ass a little bit.
And he also looked terrible. I'm just throwing that out there. Tannehill, instantly
horrible interception.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Marcus Mariota leaving the Tennessee Titans. I think he's going to go to the Bengals. I think they're going to get rid of Andy Dalton. I don't know. Zach Taylor could maybe turn this guy around. I know Zach Taylor and the Bengals suck. A lot of bad circumstances for Zach Taylor. The offensive line is like literally the worst in the NFL. He has Andy Dalton. Joe Mixon has nowhere to run. AJ Green hurt. Defense is still brutal. So, heard it here first. Marcus Mariota to the Bengals next year.
I kind of like that. I'd also like to see him in Tampa Bay. I think that... I think
that would be so funny.
I think it could actually work, too, which is the craziest thing.
First Arians?
I actually think Marcus Mariota is one of the best people in the NFL, and Jameis Winston's one of the worst. So just sub that in, and you got karma on your side. As far as this game goes with the Chargers, I don't know what the hell to think, honestly. I mean, I guess you invest in the fact that the Chargers are probably better than they're playing right now, but like this is the ultimate stay away game in terms of gambling. Like, I don't want any piece of this thing.
I want no part of it. I have no idea what to do with this game. I would say Mike Williams is a buy low because of his insane target volume, but he literally sucks. As an actual NFL player, he sucks. I was watching that game Sunday night, and like I was pulling my hair out, and I was like, why did I tout this guy all fucking offseason?
Yeah, we were both wrong.
0 touchdown catches this year.
Both wrong on that guy.
Horrible.
Damn.
He looks so bad. He's like dropping left and right. He's dropping balls. He gets hurt every other fucking play. Whatever. I don't want to talk about him anymore. He's pissing me off. Tennessee Titans, according to 538, 55% chance to win. So, yeah, whatever. I'll take the Titans, I guess, on this one. Last one we got. Patriots at Jets. It's only minus 9.5 for the Patriots, this line.
I mean,
what do we think of both offenses?
Like, so you're telling me Sam Darnold's worth over 11 points in spread? I guess like a couple of weeks ago, this line was like 23. I mean, I guess so. Yeah. Like, look, about these Jets, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. I think they might win this game, Scott. I know I might just be delusional, but the Patriots don't look good right now. I get it. They looked a little bit better running this week. Edelman's good, but they're not getting really anything else with consistency. Like, they're getting it in flashes. And, I mean, this Jets team is like, I think they're they threw people off the scent with a historically bad first 5 weeks.
In 43 years, I think they had the worst offense in 43 years.
Let's look at them for what they are. They're an 8-8 team that is now 1-5 because of the way they started the year. So they'll probably end the year that'll be 5-11 maybe, or like 4-12.
Mm-hmm.
But they're an 8-8 team talent wise, and the Patriots are due for a stinker, and it might be coming up this week.
Tom Brady's last 3 games: Bills on September 29th, 150 yards, 1 interception. Redskins, easiest matchup he's going to have all year. 348 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Giants Thursday night, 334 yards, 1 interception. He's doing no help. He's giving his pass catchers no help whatsoever. Probably missing Antonio Brown a little bit right now, but who cares? Like, it's fucking Antonio Brown. I will say the Jets defense is 20th against wide receivers and 17th against running backs. And Sony Michel has actually strung together a couple of good weeks in a row for like back end running back 2 numbers. So I think they're going to try to hand it off to him a lot to control the clock, and actually might be somewhat scared of Sam Darnold like coming out of the gate hot after being off with mono for so long. So try to keep him off the field. And his pass catchers like Jamison Crowder and Robbie Anderson off the field like a big playmaker. So I think 9.5 is actually, I don't know, it's a little too high for me. Yeah, this is like when the Chiefs were favored by like 16.5 last year against the Raiders, and it was like a 3-point game. Like, oh shit, yeah, maybe we should have saw that coming. It's a division game. Like, they know each other. So I'm going to take the Jets to cover. I think the Patriots might win, but squeak by it. 538, we got 75% chance to win for the Patriots, but trap game.
Let's fucking go. Let's go, Jets. I'm back in. I don't give a shit. I'm back in. I'm ready.
We've always been in.
I'm ready to be hurt again. Let's make it happen. Real quick, our Live Moss gambling tip of the week, sponsored by Taco Bell. First off, there's plenty of games featuring good teams that we didn't just talk about, which tells you we got some mismatches out there. I think San Francisco over Washington by 9.5 points. That's a 9.5 point line that makes no sense because San Francisco is on a heater. They just beat the Rams by more than that. And Washington they have one player, Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry, oh Lord Terry, is the only player on that team that's worth anything. And San Fran is going to roll them over this week.
Yeah, and San Fran, like, Washington tries to run the ball. Guess what San Fran is against running backs this season so far?
Number 1.
2.
Oh, they're 2. Okay.
Close. I think number 1 is the Patriots. Actually, I don't know. Let me check. Anyway, they're number 2. Either way.
And I love their defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh. Like,
beast.
What a beast. He might be a top seed in our coach fight, like Mortal Kombat power rankings. Like, he's up there.
Oh yeah,
I love that. He's a 1 seed. I think Vrabel's up there too. But I mean, that guy's a scary dude.
He's a psycho.
He doesn't
love that.
He doesn't have the size as some other guys. Like, first off, Wiley would be a powerhouse here if he was still in the league. But but that guy's got the edge. Robert Saleh. Shout out to you, my man. One little bonus Live Moss gambling tip of the week is I kind of like Arizona +3 at the Giants. That is obviously not for the faint of heart here, but I think they're going to win that game. They've looked good the last couple of weeks. Honestly, they've looked very competent all year. Some coaching question marks, some kicking question marks, but like, give me the Cardinals over the Giants. I just, as long as Saquon Barkley is not playing, I get Danny Dimes was fun that first week. Give me Arizona here, though. I think they win this game.
Shout out MetLife Stadium hosting 2 games in a row, two days in a row. Giants on Sunday at 1, Jets Monday at 8:15.
That crew is working hard there at that stadium. Shout out to you.
Yeah. All right, that does it for Week 7 preview. Find us in the channels. Hopefully you all voted, because it is now Friday. And put the story up on Thursday. Hopefully you voted for round 2 mascots. If you did, thank you. If not, what were you doing on Thursday all day?
Spend some time this weekend thinking about these mascots. Thinking about what they mean to you.
And who got snubbed. And why.
What makes them unique? What role did they play in your childhood? There's a lot of factors to consider when making your predictions of who's gonna make it to the end. And I'm not sure. Have we announced what happens at the end yet?
I don't think we have, and
I don't think so.
I don't know. It might involve an NCAA style Final Four T-shirt. I'm just throwing it out there.
Could very well.
That was one of my favorite traditions, just seeing the random colleges that made it to the Final Four of the basketball bracket making it to the T-shirt. And at the end of this, we're moving from 16 to 8 this week, and next week the Final Four will be decided, and that's a lot of fun for us.
Go BK.
And it might involve a final boss as well.
Oh,
An undisclosed final boss.
Throwing a lot of folds into this. I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Leave us a review.
We're just going to leave you with that, and we'll just let that sit. And in that silence, you should go and take that time to leave us a review.
Seriously, go do it. Leave it.
Well,
See you later.
see you later.